Hi there, y'all. Welcome back to the shop. I got this piece of cedar that I ran through my chainsaw mill. It's got a pretty nasty crack right here. As you can see, it's probably 2.5 inches wide. And then you see all these rift marks. Well, I've got a few drawers that I'm making for the wife, and I want to use this as the front board on the drawers. Will be the exposed piece. I'm gonna give something a try. I don't have a joiner, something I really wish I had, but I don't right now. So I'm gonna try something else that I've seen guys do online with an electric planer. I have a 12 or 14 inch DeWalt planer. I got this piece of shelving board here, piece of plywood, but it seems pretty rigid and it's not very long. It doesn't flex much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach it to this uneven board here, and then I'm going to put a couple screws in through this board, and I've got some countersunk holes so the head won't stick down. I'm going to screw it into the cedar, and then I'm going to shim it a little bit so that it stays flat. I don't want it to give any underneath the pressure of the planer. So then once this is attached, I'm going to flip it over like this. It'll be attached, and see how this is flat, this because it's right on this plywood. Well, this board has a crown in it right here, and it's got a little bit of a twist in it. So as I run this through the planer, since this flat surface is down here, what it's referencing off of, the blade on the top is spinning like this, and it's eating the wood away. And it's meant to make, a planer is meant to make a board exactly the same thickness all the way through. So if I just ran it through here like this, it wouldn't do that, because the rollers will actually press on the board when it's feeding it into the machine, and it would cause the board to flatten out underneath the blade. And in the end, you will have parallel thickness, but you'll still have this bow, this cup, this crown that's here. So I'm going to eliminate that by attaching to this flat board and running it through, and it'll take a little bit off of here first, and then a little bit more, and may take a high spot over here. And until it's eaten off of the entire length of the board, it won't be flat. But once the head is cutting all along the top of the board, I'll know that this is a flat surface. And then I can take this board and unscrew it and remove it, flip it over in the planer, and now I'll have a flat surface, and run it through and it'll plane this edge flat, and then I'll have a completely consistent thickness board, and it will be completely flat as if I ran it across a joiner. It's my first time to do this, but the math works out on it all to work. So I'm gonna try to take you along, and we'll see how it works out. Okay, so I've got the flat surface on here, and I've checked it a few times with this straight edge by laying it across the top and seeing how much light I get through the bottom. I'll know whether it's good and flat, and it looks good. And I've shimmed it underneath with some pieces of plywood that I had in my scrap bin to help give it the proper, so it won't flex much even under the pressure. And then I've just taken a saw and cut the shims off so it'll pass through the planer good. So now I'm ready to give it my first pass. Okay, so I got my flat surface. I've got the gauge set to about the right level, I think. Give it a couple passes till it catches, and you'll start seeing it remove from the high spots. So the video cut out on me because my battery died. Well, I finished running it through a few more times after the video cut, and I'm very pleased with the results. This cedar is just gorgeous. I do see a couple things. I'm getting some planer snipe, which is right here, and it's basically at the end of this board, because when this thing comes off the rollers, it's bumping a little bit. So it's a little deeper cut here and here, but nothing that's gonna mess the project up. Smells like the biggest hamster cage in the world in here because of all these cedar chips, but it'll make it smell good. So I think it works. Now this is a good flat surface, so now all I have to do is remove this board from here and run this back through the planer with this side down, since it's a relatively flat surface, and it'll slowly start chipping away from the other side. All in all, I like it. A lot cheaper than buying a joiner for right now, for sure. So thanks for watching.